Okay, today we're going to try to clean the crud. I don't know if we can even see that on camera. We're going to try to clean the crud inside the front element of a 28-300 Canon. Great lens, not cheap of course, totally worth cleaning if we can take care of it. I think we can take care of it. And if I remember correctly, I've done one before, but it's been a while. I think it's easy. Around the silver band here, there's a couple of screws. Let's start with those. I think, if I remember correctly, we just take these out. There's a few more screws right inside the front. So we start with those. Don't lose them, they're small. And as I mentioned with many of my other videos, I like to take things out in the order as which I was using, or as if rather, I was using the lens to take a picture or the camera to take a picture. So once you take those three out, those two rings just come out. Now we're trying to get this clean, so one of the things we want to do as we're going along here is clean up some of this crud around here. So I'm going to take that off camera and brush it off, because I don't want to brush it. I just use a regular toothbrush. I don't want to brush it all over my workspace, so I'm doing it off camera. Okay. Alright, so, okay, now there's a couple of screws around here as well. Now these, again, we want to be a little more specific, so again, I'm going to start with the top one. I don't think it matters, I think they're all the same, but just to be sure, I don't want to mix them up. So we're going to start with the one that's closest to the top center of the camera, or lens rather, as if it were, again, mounted as if I were using it. Okay, quick those, and then just wiggle this a little bit, and I think that's all there is to it. Give it a little tap here. Alright, and that's it. Now, whoops. Now, there's some more crud around here, so we're going to brush that off too. Okay, and now we'll take off this series of screws, and I think that's it, I think, but I don't remember. Alright, so that's the focus. We don't want to mess too much with that. We can take that off if we have to, but we don't want to yet. Shucks, I forget which ones. Let's try the ones that aren't through the brass. Now the only thing we want to do here is maybe we want to put a little mark on these so we put that element back in the same place. So that way we can line those up with the center of the screws. You could also use a marker, something, anything. You can wax pencil, but no one's ever going to see the inside of that, so it doesn't really hurt anything if you put a little mark. Plus, that little mark is more permanent, and I'm not likely to accidentally wipe it off. Alright, now is that it? We got more. Alright, that ring is next. And then Yep, I got it. I couldn't remember, but these have to go too. Now that's easier because they can only go in one position. After we line this up, those will have to be where they are. And they move, so they're supposed to do that. Alright. I think this screwdriver is a little big. Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. A little smaller one here. Okay, then that whole guy kind of lifts up and comes out. And some of these haven't been moved in a long time, so they may not be easy. Now, I'm going to come back to that one. It's really tough. Alright, this one's only so bad. There's two. Now, this guy seems to be really tough. Oh, it's slipping pretty bad. Let's try a little bigger one if I have one over here. Maybe I can get a little more pressure on it here. Oh, that one does not want to pop. Shoot. Alright, let's keep trying. Trying other screwdrivers till hopefully we get the right one. Oh, I think I got it. Shoo! That wasn't easy. Alright. So, now you actually want to be careful here because I think that element's ready to come out. Once we maybe pop that guy up there. Alright. Come on. Never hurts to talk nice to it. Okay. And then we can just give that a little nudge forward. Kind of go around in a circle and just give it a little nudge. And you can see it's coming loose. And now it's out. I'm going to put one more mark on this from the top. And that was going to be right here. So, just so we have a line approximately on the top of the element. I don't think it matters, but now, same deal. I'm going to take this off screen and just blow it off using a duster. You can use compressed air if you want. Just be careful if there's anything too scratchy or particulate on there, it'll leave a mark. So that's why I like to use those. Then I just use, I have another super soft brush that I might use to brush that off as well. And then we'll clean it with a microfiber cloth. And that's a ton better already. Take a quick look in here. Same thing. Give that a little dust off. Again, off camera, maybe use our toothbrush to take some of the dust away from that edge. No sense cleaning it if we're going to put it back together dirty. Alright. And that's looking much better. We can start to put this fella back together. First thing I got to do is find my mark that I put on here for the top. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, and I don't think it matters if you do rotate it, but I just like to be sure. Missed a couple of pieces of stuff there. Alright, so we're near the top, and then this guy This guy goes in here. Okay, so we want to line up our screws, these screws, right in the center of there, if we remember. So I'm going to do that and get them right in the center. Okay, and I'm just going to put in 2 for now till I get everything in. Oh, nuggets. Alright. Saying I already made a mistake. I used the wrong screw for this. Well, rather, I used the right screw, but in the wrong spot. I want my glass in here. And you can feel if the screws go in conveniently or not. Don't force them. Never force anything. It only makes for more trouble. You force something, you crack something. Alright, now before I start to put the rest of this together, I'm going to pop this on a body and test it. Okay, I checked that at all the focal lengths real quick. It focuses, works on infinity. Now I can go ahead and put the rest of this together. So I'm going to snug up these screws I already put in, I didn't set those firmly yet. Then we're going to pop these guys back in their respective spots. A little easier said than done, because that just fits in there a certain way. There we go. Oh, I had it, and then I moved it. Come on, get in there, you little thing. All right. Snug those up. I'm dropping it. Okay. You gotta get these in there just right, because those brass fittings, I don't know if they're really brass anymore, but they're really brass colored. Give that a little nudge. They just fit in there very snugly, so you gotta get them just right. Alright, and again, don't force those. You don't want to strip those. Good news, they sort of bottom out. You can kind of feel it, but if you strip them, you're going to have to find a larger screw that'll fit and put it in there. Okay, I think we're set. We can put this fella back on. This is just this. Oh, forgot. I'm going to clean this off camera too, because there's crud around it. And this has a little bit of a seal on it. Those seals deteriorate. Just a little spongy. I want to try to peel off any of that or brush off any of that might be starting to decay. Okay. Then we can slide our barrel back on here. And that's going to go into these holes. So we do want to make sure this is lined up right. So we want to get that. Okay, so we got our image stabilized, ultrasonic up where it belongs. That's these 3 screws over here. And you can see the holes. I don't know how well you can see them, but the hole is lined up right there. Put these in there, and again, snug, but don't force them, don't strip them. 3 of those. Okay. Okay. Going to give our front glass a once over with our microfiber. Make sure we're still looking good before I put everything back together. Oh, that's looking good. Okay. I'm going to, off camera again, I'm going to brush these off real quick before I put that back on. It's because there's crud that sticks to those and accumulates. Okay. Same deal. We want to line up our top of the lens, top of the lens, top of the lens. And we just want to get those little holes lined up. And again, these screws were small, so get those in there. Whoops-a-daisy. I don't have it quite in there, I don't think. Let's see. Sometimes I need a little, I think I have it pretty close. Sometimes I need a little more light. Come on. Oh, yeah, those are flat screws. Whoops. There we go. Those aren't Phillips. That's why I can't seem to get them started. And just snug those in. Okay, we got our last couple of screws here. Get these in there. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, you dirty rat. Alright, I'm going to give it a once over with my toothbrush along the rim here, and I think we are set. And that's how you clean inside the front element on an EF 28-300. Thanks for checking me out.